Gentlemen, welcome back to Game on Purpose. My name is Michael, and this week I want to talk about consistency. So far in this series, we've talked about a lot of topics that help us get unstuck, but one of the most critical is consistency. Showing up every day, even if you don't want to. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the misconceptions. Let's talk about why consistency is so hard. And let's lastly talk about how we can improve and use it to help us. And while we do that, let's catch back up with the Baltimore Ravens as we start our playoff run. Remember, we were the number 1 seed entering the playoffs, so we had a bye in the wild card. And you can see in the divisional round, we are up against the Cincinnati Bengals, one of our top division rivals, who we played twice in the season. We won one, lost the other. And if we take a look at the bracket overall, we can see all of the teams that are in the divisional round. We got the Ravens versus the Bengals, the Chiefs versus the Jaguars, and in the NFC, the Giants versus the Niners, and the Rams versus the Packers. Let's get this started and get ourselves to the AFC Championship. And just as a reminder, this is an extremely tough team with Steve Young, Roman Reigns, Sauce Gardner, Ray Lewis, Marvin Harrison, Rodney Harrison. This is a tough team, and they're going to be tough in the playoffs. Let's get a win here and move on. And here we are at M&T Bank Stadium, take on the Bengals in this divisional round playoff game. And we'll be kicking off to them. I like that we're starting on defense. I like that we'll be getting the ball after halftime. Something tells me we're probably going to need it. All right, let's get it started. I think consistency is something that everyone talks about, but a lot of people don't actually understand what it is. And more importantly, why it's so hard. Because starting something isn't that difficult, but sticking with it is where most people struggle. And I think a lot of people think consistency is about being perfect, doing something every single day, no matter what, and being good at it. But that's not really what it is. Consistency is about showing up, even when it's not perfect, even when you don't feel like doing it. Nice. Consistency isn't about doing a lot. It's about not stopping. It's not intensity, it's repetition. And there's a reason consistency is so difficult. Your brain is wired for novelty. It likes new things. It likes something different. It likes something exciting. That's why starting something new feels so good. But doing the same thing over and over, that's not very exciting. Man, they're getting me with those little checkdowns. And there's actually research that shows your brain releases more dopamine when something is new. I'm going to blitz him. But when something starts to become repetitive, that dopamine stops. The reward stops. Oh, that was mine. Touchdown. Okay, we're going to play offense now. We got to answer back. And so the more consistent you become with something, the less your brain wants to do it. And on top of that, your brain is always trying to conserve energy. So repetitive things, they take effort. Your brain doesn't want to do that. It starts to feel like something to avoid. Let's see, I got to get the first down here. I don't like this play. Let's run some slants across the middle. Hopkins going deep. Ooh, there he is. Nice. And to add on to that, when it starts to become uncomfortable and you don't see the results right away, it feels like you're doing all this work for nothing. Because something that matters, touchdown, let's go. Because something that matters is going to take time. It doesn't happen overnight. Okay, for the playoffs, I'm going to change my rule a little bit, and I'm going to do 2 offense and 2 defensive sets. Let's get them. Nice. Consistency is hard because it's boring. It's boring, it takes effort, and it doesn't reward you right away. A lot's working against you. Going into the second quarter, tied 7-7. Let's keep it going. And I don't think most people fail because they can't do it. I think they fail because they expect too much too fast. Dang, that guy does not want to go down. And I think expecting those fast results can be a real problem. You don't see the change right away, so you stop. And again, these are not going to be overnight successes. These are things that matter. Things that matter, things that are about our growth, they're going to take time and they're going to take effort. And things that matter take effort. And as we've talked about in previous episodes, relying on motivation can also hurt you. Some days you just don't feel like doing it. The motivation won't be there, and that will kill your consistency. It will kill your growth. Every time you don't feel like doing it, you just stop. You'll never get there. All right, we're going to hold these guys 3rd and 2. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they stop. I have a story about that, my whole journey, and where this all began for me. And I think I talked about this on a previous episode, is my running journey. I always wanted to be a runner. I wanted to run distance. I wanted to feel what it felt like to run a marathon. It was always a dream of mine, but I had given up on it. You know, it was something that was hard for me. And I didn't feel like, man, these guys don't want to go down. I felt like I couldn't stay consistent because of my life, because of work, because of, I had other opportunities. I had other things going on, and it was extremely hard to stay consistent with it. And then COVID happened, and I had a lot more time on my hands, and I felt a lot more free to do some things that I wanted to do. And not saying that that made it easier. I still had to show up every single day and try to run. And some days it would be 1 mile. Some days it would be 2 miles. I always was trying to compete with myself to improve at least 1% every day. There we go. And eventually I got to a place where I could run distance. I could put in a few miles, and then I kept doing it, and I kept showing up, and I kept being consistent, and touchdown. And after 3 years, I did finally run a marathon. All right, we're going to do another offense before halftime, and then whatever happens here, we'll go into the key moments. But we've got to score some points before halftime. We will get the ball after. And coming off of my story, I do want to talk about how we can actually stay consistent. Like, what are the steps that I took? What are the steps that people can take to stay consistent in their lives? Go, Vic. And some of the steps that you can take is making it smaller. We had an entire series, an entire episode on small wins. Make it smaller. Make it bite-sized chunks. The easier something is to start, the more likely you are to do it. You don't need to take an hour. You don't need to go run, 10 miles. You just need to go run 1. Bite-sized chunks, you just need to start. And then secondly, focus on showing up. Show up every day. It's not about results. It's about showing up. It's about telling yourself, I'm not going to quit. If you focus on showing up, you'll keep going. Just keep showing up. And then lastly, or not lastly, but third, expect, oh no. Ooh, I'm going to call a timeout. Joey Bosa. Okay, that took me off my track, but what I was saying was expect bad days. You're not going to feel like doing this every day. You can't rely on motivation. It's just not going to happen. And I think where a lot of people get stuck is don't reset when you mess up. Missing one day doesn't ruin everything. Quitting does. Quitting ruins everything. All right, we're going to get a timeout, 27 seconds. Because consistency isn't about never missing. It's about not quitting. I'm going to put Johnson on an out route here. We got a mesh. We got to get this touchdown. Not there. All right, we got to get this in the end zone. Touchdown, Ravens. All right, we're going to jump into key moments, and we'll catch back up when it drops us in. All right, here we are. Third quarter, third down, 14-14. I'm going to audible. I'm going to run this. Bo Jackson, right up the gut. That didn't work. All right, the next time we get the ball, we're on defense. I'm going to take over here. We got to stop them. Oh, no. That was good. All right, 9 seconds left in the third quarter, down by a touchdown. This is big. We got to score. I think when it comes to consistency and not stopping, I think most people are closer than they think. I think they're very close to breaking through. They just quit too early. And that's literally all consistency is just not stopping. Faked him out. Michael Vick gets the first down. Or I'm sorry, gets second and goal on the 2-yard line, on the 2-yard line. I think we might try to, let's see what they're going to give us. I think we can probably pull someone. I'm going to put Hopkins on a drag. Let's see what happens here. All right. Tie game, fourth quarter. Here we are, third down, 3rd and 7. This is for the game. We've got to stop them here. Interception, 2 minutes, 45 seconds. So now we've got the ball. Let's see if we can get this into field goal range, win this game. Let's go, Bo. All right, just after the 2-minute warning. Let's see if we can get just a little bit farther. We probably need 10, 12 yards, and we'll be in field goal range. That's not going to get us there. So as we're ending this game, consistency isn't about doing a lot. It's just about not stopping. Dang it. Consistency is hard because it's boring and you don't get reward right away. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. And maybe the most important piece is that consistency isn't about never missing. It's about not quitting. Stay on it. The more you show up, the better it's going to get. You will see the results. You will see the benefits. Don't stop, because stopping is the death of consistency. I'm going to run this up the middle again. We're just going to have them burn their timeouts. With 1 minute left, I don't technically want to score here. If I do, that's fine. If I don't, we can let this clock run down and kick a field goal, and they'll have less time left. That's okay. Bo Jackson, touchdown. All right, let's finish this game on defense. They got to get it in the end zone to tie. We're not going to let that happen. No timeouts. They just have to rush the ball. We're just going to not give them anything deep. Big time. All right, we just need one more big play. Fourth down. Nothing deep. And that's game. The Baltimore Ravens are moving on to the AFC Championship game. What a great game. So remember, consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about not stopping. It's about showing up every day, even if you don't want to. Eventually, it becomes who you are and what you are. It doesn't get easier, but it does become a part of your life. And as that grows, you grow. Let's stay consistent. It gets us unstuck. It gets us to the goals and the man that we want to be. Thank you again for watching. We're going to continue this on. We're going to move on to the AFC Championship game and continue this conversation. Thank you so much. Bye.